Okay, and we're now going to just walk through how to answer question 3. So don't forget all your notes that we've just gone through that you've hopefully watched on the previous little clip. And now we're going to practice answering it. So I am going to write about this, what the writer focuses our attention on at the beginning. So you could follow along with me in this paragraph, and then you're going to do one of your own. So we start with the writer focuses our attention at the start of the text on the weather and setting to interest the reader. That's my point, isn't it? And hopefully you'll notice what I've done there is I've used the words from the question, look. And I've identified what I'm going to talk about. So then we need a quote or some evidence. Use a different colour because it helps you recognise the different elements of PEEF. This is demonstrators. We'll use demonstrated, not shown, because it's just a bit fancier. In quotes, the mountain. I'm just going to check the quote, make sure I get it right. The mountain air prickled. And it was snowing again. Don't forget your quote marks, because that's just what you've got to do. Okay, I'm going to change my colour now. I think we'll have a purple for my explanation. Remember, your explanation is where you get all your lovely marks, so it should be the longest bit, and it should be focused on structural features, not language. So, I'm going to start with, this interests the reader because, that's the words from the question, because, well, why does it interest the reader? The fact that they're in the snowy mountainside, it tells us that they're isolated, they're in this strange place, quite unusual. There's an eerie sense of calm. This interests the reader because it establishes the characters are, I'm going to turn my page over, so I'll just let you have a look at that before we do. There we go. Establishes the characters are in an unusual place, perhaps quite isolated. This could, you could leave your sentence there, but we want to develop it a bit. This could foreshadow danger. I'm highlighting foreshadow because that's a structural feature, remember, from our list. Due to the eerie, spell that correctly, calm, which is created. Okay, so that would be all right on its own, but we want to try and develop it a bit to try and get to the top band. Now, with your furthermore bit, on the structure question, I've got a big tip for you, which we'll write up here. Tip, link to elsewhere in the source. And I'm going to show you how to do that now. Furthermore, this is built on, now I think that's a really useful phrase to remember for this question. This is built on, I'll get that in place, by the writer, by the air of happiness felt by Zoe. Remember, she's so happy, we know something bad's going to happen, who feels, what does she say she feels like? An eagle, was it? Let's have a little look. Yeah, like an eagle. This may signal to the reader upcoming danger. I'm just going to mention that it's a novel as well, as this is from the start of a novel. We could anticipate something dramatic to break their happy mood, because otherwise it would be boring. Note that I've not put "it makes me want to read on" because that's too vague. Okay, signal to the reader I think is worth highlighting. So that's my paragraph. Feel free to go back and read through it. You're now going to do your own, and I'm just going to give you a little writing frame at the bottom to help you. Now remember, you can't talk about the opening because that's what I've talked about, but all of these things down here you could write about. So you could talk about the introduction of the new character, you could talk about the fact they're skilled skiers, you could talk about the change in tone there, that would be quite a good one. You could talk about the increase in tension here, that's probably the one that I would write about, or you could talk about that end bit, zooming on the accident. So make your choice and then follow this writing frame. A turning point in the text is when. So you could put there is when tension increases due to the avalanche coming. But you don't have to write about that one. Use your different colours. This is shown in the quote. Put your quote in. If you're doing the same one that I would do, you could have "rumble became louder." I'm going to put that in brackets because you don't have to use that one. This interests the reader. Use the words from the question. Oops. Because, why does it interest you? You want to know what the rumble is. Might make us think. Well, what might it make us think? It might make us think they're in danger and they should get off the ski slopes. And then, furthermore, this is supported later or earlier. Remember, we're linking across the text, in the text, when. So if you're talking about the rumble, you could talk about the fact that that's happened previously, which has the effect of building tension, increasing the danger, etc. So complete your piece there, and then you've had a good practice at question 3. Bye for now.